Hey guys, I'm here. Welcome back for one hell of a Friday. Yes, it is back for this Black Friday. We got early the new episode of Helluva Boss. Mastermind is finally here, and I think because of the time change, it actually dropped earlier than I was expecting. I was in the middle of editing Owl House for today, and I just realized that this episode was already out. I'm a little behind to this, so I'm going to try to get through this as efficiently as possible, but we'll see how this all goes. I can't wait to find out who the titular mastermind is, what has been going on, how they've been pulling the strings up until this point, or if something happens initiating in this episode that is being puppeteered from behind the scenes. You know, obviously with Stella and Jarlfus and all that, they've been trying to like engineer Stolas's downfall, and maybe we're going to see the culmination of that. Obviously, we have the Goetia and the meeting with the Sins that is still yet to happen, and that scene that we are still holding out hope for with Blitz standing over top of Stolas, knife drawn, ready to defend. I'm nervous and anxious and excited to get into this episode, man, because we're almost towards the end of the season and towards the end of the year as well, which is wild to think of. But as we head into the end of the season with yet another episode, we have another raffle for you guys, because once again, I just want to continue to show my appreciation for what this universe and the community has brought to not just myself, but the channel as well. It has been a wild ride from January to now, and it's become something that's just is such an integral part of my life at this point. I love this world. I love the creatives behind this, the people voicing the characters, the people making the art, and just the story and the sensibilities that this show carries behind it. And we never would have got here if it hadn't been for just you guys persisting on getting me to check it out. Unfortunately, I'm out of Helluva Boss stuff to give away. Just like we did with the Demon Alistair card, I have reclaimed some of the promotional cards because there's been quite a few that have come out since from the evil scalpers that plague our lands. This time around, 5 people will win not 1 card, but 4 of the promotional Hazbin Hotel cards that have come out in the interim. So if any of you want to throw your name into the hat to win potentially one of these sets of cards, make sure to keep an eye out on Instagram for the post for this video and comment hashtag OmniCards. A week from today, I'll announce the winners and put out a post for that. Once the winners are selected, I'll be reaching out to those individuals to get their contact information and shipping information, stuff like that, so that I can make sure that everything makes it nice, safe, and sound for you guys. With that all down the way, before we get into this, one last thing. If you're watching this for the first time, just like myself, don't do yourself a disservice. Go check it out without me yapping over top of it. I have a link down in the description to the original video. Please go check it out, show it some love, then come back over here for everybody that has seen it. I hope you are ready to hop into this video, and if you enjoy this reaction, please leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe if you're not already, because it really helps these videos out. And with that all said and out of the way, let's get ready to hop into episode 11, Mastermind. Here we
Hello, my owlets. It's Stolas here. A little, well, sad since, you know. But the one thing that's been giving me hope is following Omni Media. Won't you do the same? I'll see you in hell. Hoot hoot!
little winter wonderland over here, isn't it?
You seem in good spirits today.
Oh, yes. Stolas has had his heart shat on by that little imp cretin he was seeing.
Oh?
Yes, I believe he finally learned that that filthy little beast was only using him to gain access to his grimoire. Fucking moron.
Oh, he didn't know that, did he?
To his what?
That fancy book thing.
He didn't know that. Oh, right. He's not supposed to be. I completely forgot about that. That what he's been doing is illegal. Shit, I didn't even think about that. Well, all right. Well, fuck. Okay.
No, wait. Stolas was letting an imp use his Goetia-given grimoire, and you didn't tell me?
Why do you care?
Because we have been trying to figure out a means to usurp your horny ex-husband's power, and this whole time you knew about the incredibly illegal thing he was doing, and you didn't think.
Oh my God.
Well, don't yell at me.
Wow, that was beautifully animated. Good God. I mean, that is not unfamiliar with this show, but I love that build. as he lets this realization really sink in. I mean, she's not the brightest, man, but the fact that she's had that intel for God knows how long, and that's all she really needed to put the nail in the coffin, really? Anyway.
Now you fucking know.
You are so lucky.
Oh,
You
his
are
little
hot,
imp's
Stella.
frozen. Poor little guy.
So, the four of you are, remind me again?
We're interns, sir.
Oh,
We're looking for
whoa.
cool businesses to work for.
Yeah, I know what interns are. I'm not an idiot, okay? But I can't really afford new employees at the moment.
Oh, interns work for experience, sir.
Come again?
Experience.
Oh, you mean for free?
Experience?
Well, I can't argue with free, kiddo. You're hired.
Sir,
Aw.
you need to see this.
Come out! We've got you surrounded!
Oh, whoa, what is this?
Of the illegal business, IMP. You are hereby arrested.
Oh, wow. Dude. No, it's Blitz and Moxxie's mugshots from when they were in prison together. Is that a picture of Loona from B's party? Then I presume that's one of Millie's old photos before she went imp.
Law. Surrender yourselves.
You guys are in deep shit!
Blitz, what are we gonna
Wow.
Escape! Quick! Hide everything!
Deleting searching history. Wow. That's one way to do it. Just destroy it.
We are going to beat you!
What?
But only a little! There's nowhere to run, you little red shit!
Aww. Yeah. Aww. For Loona to take that, oh my god. I know she's like so reserved and all that, and she's got her angst and whatnot, but that's a real moment right there. She was going to burn all this stuff, but the photo that they took of their first job, she actually hesitated and kept that. I think that's a pretty big moment for Loona.
We are going to beat you!
Wait.
But only a little! This may be a lot!
Hold on, what was on that wall? Do not flush, non-pee-pee poo-poo. Blitz sucked your mom.
Going to beat you! But only
And all of his wigs and dress-up stuff.
I'm trying. I'm fucking trying.
Nice!
The shredder is jammed!
Just burn it all!
Come out with your hands up!
There's literally a fire in their office, man. What is that?
Come on, guys.
Blitz, they will see us!
Well, we can either run or we can face the music.
This is insane. What a start. Nice. Oh, the interns! Nice!
Man, hurry. Okay, come on, we got it.
Where are we going?
Anywhere but here. Get ready for a life on the run, gang.
That was short-lived.
I fucking hate you so much, Blitz.
Freeze, criminals.
Oh my god. Oh, no. Whoa.
About the orphans, because they were already sick to begin with.
Yo. Oh, whoa. Holy shit. Dude. Oh my god. Is that the Sins? It is. We got Mammon, B, Ozzy. I presume that's Satan. And then Belphegor, and I forget what the other one was. I've heard the name Leviathan thrown around, but I don't know if that's correct. And then at the very top, we got a BRB sign with an apple on the chair. Lucifer is not in attendance. Wow. I didn't think we would have this right now.
There. You nailed it. Great job.
You and your crew are on
Dude.
fire for stealing a powerful goetic heirloom for undocumented personal use in the mortal realm. How do
Poor
you
Loona, man.
Oh, this is about the book? I didn't steal that thing. I mean, I tried, right? But since when is attempting a crime illegal, am I right?
Always.
It was given to me, okay? I was allowed to use it.
Lies! Your Honor, speaking on behalf of my aggressively attractive sister, I must testify that this brute
He loves bringing up
was
her
forcing himself on
attractiveness.
husband, Stolas, who, unlike a responsible and handsome goetic demon such as myself, was too weak.
Guess he values that.
ashamed to come forward about it. The poor thing.
What?
This vile, hideous imp has put his kind to shame, committing such horrid acts to gain the upper hand.
That isn't what happened.
Sorry. What do we say about negative energies in our mind temple? You remember to take deep breaths.
Right, yeah.
Wow.
I'd like to add, Your Honor, that in addition to his unspeakable acts with our dear, beloved Stolas,
Wait. Where is Stolas anyway? Can't he speak on this himself? ¿Qué carajo?
he has not been informed of this trial.
¿Qué? Why not? If this involves him, then he should be here, no?
Oh.
We need to summon him at once.
Okay,
Look at him.
Masago, shut the fuck up.
No me voy a callar, pendejo arrogante.
And I didn't want to put him through the trauma of facing his aggressor, who, might I also add, dramatic pause, plotted to have him assassinated!
Whoa. What?
Puta madre. That wasn't him. We don't know who wanted Stolas dead, but it wasn't Blitz.
Oh? Well, perhaps we should ask the hitman himself.
Fuck you. Fuck you. You know what? Stryker is such a fucking hypocrite. This kind of pisses me off. Getting money is one thing. I'm sure they probably are paying him a shit ton to like kill a royal, you know, just like Stolas. I'm sure like he can justify that in his mind because of his like just seething hatred for the upper class, for these people in power or whatever. But to come here to defend them like this on this grand stage before the sins themselves, that seems like some next level hypocrisy right there, if that's what he's about to do.
Who has agreed to give us his testimony in exchange for immunity.
Oh.
Him, all right. Paid me to kill the precious Goetia to cover up what he was doing with the,
Oh my God.
Line the grimoire. Yes, that.
What? Look, I am an assassin, okay? If I wanted to kill Stolas, I would have done it my fucking self!
We're gonna fucking die.
Hang on, that's not what I meant, okay? I'm just saying I could have totally fucking killed Stolas myself. But I would never do that.
What a disappointment.
Wow.
This is bullshit, guys. I've met this little imp dude before.
Yes.
He's a real wild card, but he's a lot of fun, and I think we should hear him out.
Dude, I love her
It's
outfit.
not a big deal.
Yeah, I'm sure he has a good reason for all this.
Thank you.
You two. We all know you enjoy slumming it with the lower class plebs, unlike the rest of us. Right, Levy?
Oh, you wanna fucking go, ma'am?
You're just pissy. Nobody wants to fuck with a flaming pile of clown shit. Also, suck a
God
dick.
damn.
Back to your mutt, bitch.
Why don't you keep fucking yourself, you big asshole?
Why don't we take a vote? Who wants to listen to hours of testimony?
Thank you.
Who wants to kill this imp bastard and get home for lunch?
Oh, fuck.
Wow.
Suck it, you bloody.
You should have remained This is what happens when lesser demons try to step out of line.
For the treacherous crime of stealing a Goetia grimoire for illegal use, bringing harm to a Goetic prince and accessing the mortal coil without clearance or procedure, you, Blitzo, and your crew are hereby sentenced to death.
Hey, Levy, after we celebrate this imp's death, let's go out, huh? Out on the town. What do you reckon?
And due to your bold actions against the laws of hell, your execution will be broadcasted across the 7 rings to remind all of mankind why our power must never be challenged again.
Oh. 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 Fizz's messages. Begging Ozzy to do something.
Goddamn, Your Highness. It was me. It was all me, okay? You can't expect to teach anyone a lesson by killing all of us.
You dare try to tell me how to punish?
Sorry, you know what? Today's an amethyst, and you're acting kind of ruby. You know, try some meditation. Realign your chakras.
Look, all that hell is gonna see is you executing imps who are just trying to do their job. I'm the rogue here, not them.
Blitz, what are you doing?
Fine. Suppose I created him trying to be obedient. I see no reason to punish the dutiful. Just axe the mouthy one.
Oh, shit. I did not see that coming. Look, I'm sorry, Mox. I did everything I could.
I know it means you, right?
Fuck me.
Oh my god.
Oh my Lucifer, what are they doing?
Do you have any final words? We'll pretend to care.
All I was trying to do was rise above the stupid fucking place you all forced us into!
Your Highness, please! Blitz, just...
Moxxie, stop.
Blitz, I can't let you...
This big red bitch never planned on hearing us out. Just take care of Loona for me.
Oh.
I can't look, Millie.
That's huge.
You guys.
Oh my holy heck.
Let's go. Did you see Vraska even freaking out too? Oh.
I came down just as soon as I heard of the imp stood accused of a devilish crime. Could it be that a worm such as this, half a brain, could concoct such a plot so sublime? Does this fool deserve the flame, or is someone else to blame? Like who, you ask? Some kind of mastermind, a mind behind the plan.
Is he gonna reveal the truth?
Grand design to use the book to breach the world of man. Could he be roaming free, scheming more mastermindery? Will he rest?
Yo.
Next, do you execute this little wretch? Pat yourself on the back, close the case. Let this imp take the blame, take the fame. Let his name light a fire in the hearts of his race. Why, it's more than I can bear. I must make all of hell aware.
He's gonna take the blame. Yeah.
The hand that holds the strings. No simple imp of mine could master the disaster. Oh, it stings.
Wow.
You had caught the schemer of the schemes I wrought. I confess it was me, and I have no and live life without you by my side. So if it keeps you alive, I am the mastermind, the master of my fate. Sure as the stars have shined, I'll give my life to clean my slate. You're my light, you're my heart.
Wow.
We have been betrayed by one of our own.
Visago doesn't believe it.
Your hubris has gotten the better of you, Prince Stolas. I am the mastermind, and here I am the law. I rule the endless dark since long before the golden angels fall. So you see.
Oh, wait, what?
Your master plans all look so small. Little mice, when you break my rules, you pay.
They are not holding back this episode, dude.
Release the pawn. Stolas of the Ars, Goetia. You are disgraced.
No, Stolas, you can't do this. Stolas, please, get the fuck off me. Stolas. Use your powers, do something. Stolas. Put me back in.
Wow.
This is a sturdy door. Ow, my supple wrist.
Sir, you're here.
Don't you ever do that to me again, you fucking idiot!
Oh. Oh. Her owlish whimpers.
What are you doing?
I mean, aren't you going to, you know, execute me?
Oh, no, of course not. You are a Goetia.
But I committed a heinous crime.
Yeah, you did. But you are demon royalty, so your life has actual worth.
So, can I go then?
No. No, you still definitely fucked up. We just need to figure out a fitting punishment for you.
Might I suggest something, Your Majesty? I think you should banish this shameful excuse for a prince and allow someone else to take over his legions. Considering the heir isn't yet of age, I'd be happy to volunteer. After all, I'm basically everything he is, but
wow.
Not a deviant piece of shit.
Yeah, that works. I hereby strip you of your status, your power, and your title.
Wow.
For the next 100 years.
Oh, motherfuck!
Oh,
Seriously?
it's not even permanent.
The citizens of hell and revel in your failings.
But what about my daughter? She'll be safe and sound with her mother, the wholesome parent.
I guess that settles it. Clock's John, time for lunch.
Yeah, it's fucking lunch time!
It's gotta be something if the sin of gluttony is disgusted by your gluttonous act.
Bye-bye, Stolas. Enjoy horny jail.
Oh, fuck you.
You open this door right.
Oh, you can have him.
What happened in there?
I have been banished.
You suck, Stolas! Hey, fuck off, fucko!
No, it's fine, Blitz. I'm okay.
You need a ride home.
this is going to give him a taste of what he's not been able to see this entire time. Especially considering that imp janitor felt confident enough to do what he just did there. Because he's been stripped of all of that. Okay.
You have no home now. Everything I have is gone.
Look, come with me, all right? Let's get you out of here. You'll need a place to stay.
Aww.
Yeah, let's not do that again.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Gracias. Look, okay, the throwing, not necessary. Okay, thank you.
Oh God, he's too tall for being in here.
I'm so glad you're okay. I love you, Dad.
Here we go. Here we go. Here you are. Nice agua.
No. Wait, is that his blood blanket?
Oh, try not to inhale the water.
Blood blanket.
Yeah, try not inhaling the water.
Oh. We're gonna go back and look at that. Oh, it's a blood shirt.
Thank you, Blitz. Thank you, Stolas. For saving my life.
Always.
Hey, Stolas,
He's gonna be a... No. Fuck. Wow, though, man. That was so fucking good. Holy shit. They made this episode feel like it had so much weight and gravitas. The animation, too. And it's always been stellar here. But this felt like they just upped it to another. Something about this, it just looked and felt so much more astounding than we've seen a couple of times before. Like, I know it was only 22 minutes, but this feels like when you watch a show and it takes the jump from television to the big screen with the I don't know, the love and attention to every frame. And I think it's because so much of this is such a massive, huge turning point of the show. Like, holy shit, this was phenomenal. Real quick before I get into anything, I want to go back and I want to take a look at those text messages that Blitz was getting. Well, and the news broadcast too. Infernal news, victory for Imp. In a surprising turn of events, today's live execution became the stage for a theatrical revelation, as Prince Stolas' live confession revealed Imp's CEO, Blitzo, was being actively framed for illegal use of a Goetia's grimoire by the upper-class prince. Following Stolas' admission of guilt, the members of Imp were released unharmed from the courtroom, making them the first Hellborn to ever survive after being sentenced to death by a deadly sin. A historical, and we don't get the rest of the thing. And then we have, hate ads, deal with it. This is the world we live in, by Wally Wackford. 96 unread emails. Hire me, please. Need assassins now? How do I join Imp? Is that the real Blitzo? You're a legend. Are you hiring? I want someone dead? Yeah, dude, like that whole thing. Blitz being put on stage as this kind of trailblazer, which has always been like a through line of this show, regardless of what some people say. And then putting that like on blast in this episode, and then that kind of coming up in this, even Satan being like, I designed them to be obedient to the T, so I'm not going to punish the dutiful. When Blitz pleaded for their lives, he's like, they just work for me. They were just doing their job. Isn't that what you bred us to do? And that kind of allowed him to be like, okay, we'll punish you, the standout, the one that goes against the grain. And they wanted to put Blitz out there as like an example because of what he's done and him taking the blame for all of this, and how that Androlphus was able to pull the strings, even getting Stryker in on this to sell them out, the assassin who tried to kill him the first time around. There's nothing that they can provide that would shed any light on their innocence at all. So the only move was for Stolas to come in here, stay the execution, and confess. And they were purposefully trying to keep him out of that. You know, where the Goetia are here to take part in the trial. I feel like that should be a little icky in and of itself, because shouldn't he be there? You know, Visago made the case for it, but Androlphus used his twisted little schemery to come up with a viable reason or justification for excluding him, though. I wouldn't want to put him through facing his abuser. But because this was televised, that exclusion was quickly remedied as Stolas saw the broadcast and immediately rushed there. Dude, there was just so many great little moments throughout this episode that really just showcases Blitz's care for everybody, especially him putting his life on the line for them, and these little moments where he entrusts the care of Loona to Moxxie and Millie, you know, once he puts his life on the line for them. And that final little moment too, is he thinks he's about to say goodbye and he says, "I love you." Like, these last couple of episodes, especially, I think Ghostfuckers really did a great job at tearing down that wall that he's been keeping up all this time. I think the facade, I think he's just so tired now of having to keep that up. After Apology Tour, after Ghostfuckers, after that nice heart-to-heart with Millie, I think he's really starting to be like, maybe I can be a little more honest with people, at least the people that I care about. I mean, hell, he was about to die too, so like he was like, this is it. If I got anything to say, it's going to be the truth and how I really feel. And we know that, and I think it's a lot more clear once you understand Blitz, his defense mechanisms and all these different things and his behaviors, how he operates and how he shows care in his own roundabout ways. I just thought that was really interesting to see how that was put on display. But just before the axe came down, Stolas arrived to stay the execution, man. I just love that moment because it just shows just how deeply these two care for each other, that even despite everything, Stolas's heart was shattered in Full Moon. Even in Apology Tour, when he's talking about he wants to no longer feel these feelings, he's trying to move on. He just wants to leave that pain in the past and move on, and he's not sure if he ever will. But the moment something dire comes up, he's there in an instant. He shows up, stays the execution, saves Blitz's life, and then, given the situation at hand, the only thing he can have, because he doesn't know who's actually pulling the strings, he can make an educated guess, but he's got no evidence. So he puts himself on the line. He doesn't want Blitz to die. He loves him so much, regardless of how much it pains him at times, but he put his life on the line. He staked it all right then and there and took the blame for the grimoire, for all of it. It's just unfortunate that there is a mastermind and it's just not him. Androlphus, Stella, Stryker, these people that are actually gaming the system to try to just remove him from the equation, whether that's by getting him killed or having his legion taken away from him and his power stripped, as well as his titles and that granted to somebody else. No, he's trying to clamor for power, not that he needs it, but it's just more power. It's a higher status. Because he, like, as odd as it is for him to constantly be bringing up how attractive his sister is, he also loves talking about how beautiful he is. I think he's just obsessed with their image as a whole. Any kind of propping up or elevation of himself is just proof that they are better than everybody else. I think he's just so narcissistic that it just extends to anybody connected to him. And Stolas is like tainting that in his mind. You know, they always made fun of Stolas of being the ugly one or whatever. I remember that being a thing at one point. They're the ones behind all of this. You know, we know that Stella put the hit on him, but we don't have any evidence. We don't have anything that can stand up in a court like this, especially when you're an imp battling against the system itself. And just the institution itself, society itself. You need some damning evidence to be able to back yourself up. And that imbalance is put on full display in this episode as well. When they're dishing out the sentencing, Blitz is here and found guilty in their eyes. They were more than happy to execute him on broadcast television. Meanwhile, Stolas, when he steps in, confesses his guilt and takes the fall for everything, they just kind of slap him on the wrist. They take away all of his titles, his powers, all of that stuff, for 100 years, much less than what Androlphus was hoping for based on his reaction alone. So even then, he doesn't get sentenced to death. His punishment isn't permanent. It's a nice little, example of the power imbalance, even in our own system, how people with influence, with power can kind of do some crazy heinous things, but they just kind of, in a lot of ways, they just get a little slap and they're let back out into the world to do their own thing. And hell, it doesn't even have to be just influence. It can be the color of your skin, your religion, your sexuality. It can be any number of things that somebody making the decision can leverage against you just to formulate an opinion and put themselves above you, you know, to set these barriers in place. And I love that they're just kind of full on tackling that concept in this world, just right there at the surface this time around. Like, there's no excuse, there's no ignoring it. It's right here. They're like, hey, you're actually important. I can't execute you. They had no problem executing Blitz because he's so insignificant in the grand scale of things because of them. He's just a lowborn imp. What's it matter to kill him? They were going to do it as an example to make sure that no other imp watching could ever dream about breaking the mold, about rising above their station. This is a message to all of you. Don't even try it. This is what happens. Then he puts himself up there and he even thinks that he's about to go through with it as well. Again, I think that's just his blindness to the way the world operates, because it even extends to his own world. Because he put his head down on the choppy block expecting to get executed, and Satan was just like, what are you doing? what do you think you're doing? You're too important to die. All the same though, Stolas for this time is stripped of his powers, his title, and his legions. He is cast out to the streets. He is now equal to these imps, to these hellhounds, and all of that. And I think this is where he's gonna get a taste of what that's been like, what life has been like for Blitz, and even get an idea of how his behaviors have helped perpetuate that very same idea, because he seems so confused about how Blitz could see certain things in their relationship as such. But when you rewatch, especially season 1 and early season 2, there's so many little microaggressions that Stolas puts out into the world. Now, I think one of them was a little intentional. I think it's that Truth Seekers one where he kind of low-key threatened Blitz, but I don't think he meant it as maliciously as it came out. If you're like in Blitz's headspace in that moment, like, it sounds like a threat. Aside from that, there's just a lot of little microaggressions that are scattered throughout everything. Some a little more in your face, some is a little more subtle, but he doesn't understand that. Because I don't think Stolas is a malicious person by any means. I don't think he intends to do any of this stuff. I don't think he's aware of it because he's just grown up this way. He's had nothing to challenge that. I know that Stolas is aware of these statuses, of these labels, of these divisions, but I don't think he realizes just how prominent it still is. I think in his mind, things maybe just aren't that bad because he's never confronted it or seen it himself in his circles. So maybe it just doesn't exist in that way. So he's not trained to analyze it, to poke it out. It's almost like that idea since the rise of social media that the world has gotten more and more racist, homophobic, or whatever. Just there's just so much more animosity, when I think really it's just given all of that you weren't hearing or seeing before more of a voice. And then you're just realizing that, holy shit, this is still here. This is still just so prominent. And maybe that's also why he feels like it's just playful to use these little microaggressions like in this kind of way that he does. Maybe because he thinks we're past that point, that these things are something we can just kind of joke about. It's this playful little thing and it's not to be taken to heart or serious. You know, maybe that's why he feels the way he does. I mean, even if the fact if he looks at his butler and maybe thinks that's just simply like he's just here to do his job. Like, he might not see these things as current issues, but the thing is, the reality is, the people that feel these concerns, like in the real world, aren't going to be comfortable confronting you about it. At least not face to face, you know, that could get real dangerous in some situations. In his mind, that idea has not been challenged until now. Then again, maybe he does. Maybe he is a little more aware than we give him credit for, because I mean, he did in the song, or at least in his confession, weaponize their perception of Blitz to kind of back his case, at least. So I don't know. Let me know how you all feel about that. I'm really kind of curious, because at times I'm kind of torn one way or the other, because like every time I kind of like lean into his just kind of naivete and his ignorance, then there's this, you know, kind of looking back on it. I don't know. It's just really interesting to see now that he's kind of fallen from grace. He's right here down with the rest of them, how that's going to go, what his experience is going to be. It's just fascinating, you know, that this is our gateway into that. I think it gives even more impact to that shot that I assume we'll get next episode. I mean, we have to. It was in the trailer for the season. It hasn't happened yet. for a powerless Stolas to be there on the ground being defended by his prince, by Blitz. And again, showcasing the class thing here, after all of this, after his execution being stayed, Blitz is now being celebrated. We already saw that Imp was making a turn as people were coming in, asking to be interns to work for free. And they ended up being part of their escape plan by dressing up as them to be little scapegoats as they tried to get away. And just seeing the response from Hell to one of their own laws being broken was wild to see. These wraiths coming in to try to arrest you, your crimes being broadcast in this ethereal like screen in the sky. It was wicked. I loved seeing all that. And again, just the stakes right out of the gate and just the tension and the escalation of action there was just really well done. And them having to try to hide all of the evidence, burning their records, shredding as many papers as they can, and all of that to try to be as clean as possible if they did not get away. And again, great little moments, especially with Loona, like reflected upon the photo commemorating their first job. Her actually saving that was a huge little boon to her character. Loved that. We've seen these characters grow so much over the course of these 2 seasons, and while sometimes it maybe doesn't feel like it's that much, it's those little moments like that that really show like how far we've come from the beginning. Anyway, back to my point is that Blitz after that, after going to court against the sins and surviving, he's now, as an imp that has gone against the grain, this may have the negative effect that they didn't really think of in the moment, is that this might motivate more imps to kind of break out of the mold, work for themselves, start their own businesses. This may start a chain reaction that they could have prevented with Blitz's death, which again puts so much importance on Blitz as a character right now, because we're seeing him be celebrated right now as this figure that stood up against the system and survived. And as the owner of his own imp business that hires imps, they're looking up to him. People are reaching out, asking for jobs. People are hiring them for jobs. There's things like that. Like we're seeing Imp kind of make a turn because of that. And then he's being hailed in the streets, something he's never had before. Or I doubt any Imp has, other than Fizzarali that used fame to kind of break that mold. That was his way of breaking through that glass, was through Ozzy and through his fame and through these talents that he had. It afforded him a different kind of privilege than any of them had. It's like, if you have something that provides something of use or entertainment or value, then you can rise above. If not, don't even try. Blitz is helping as like kind of the everyman who his only thing was like not wanting to adhere to what is expected of him. He had these dreams and he's pursued them. It's been rocky. It's been rough. He's done anything and everything to make this happen and make this work. And it's had its pitfalls. It's had its drawbacks. It's struggled. It's nearly gone bankrupt, and they're still persisting. It's inspiring. And we may see more people do that. But also after all of this too, I like to see that despite everything, and it's like this is more clear after the last couple of episodes, because we've got to spend a lot of time at Blitz's insight, kind of wrestling with everything. Seeing him soften, seeing him open up, seeing him kind of come around from the abrasive version of him that has kind of caused all of this dissonance in his life, and in one way, shape, or form, even if it was a way to protect himself. But now he knows that that's not how he's going to ever find what he's looking for or what he wants or deserves, for that matter, that he's had this idea that what he deserves is different than what he wants. But now after all of that, after this whole display, I think I don't know, a lot of that was internalized, because that section in the song where Stolas was confessing when he shrouds himself in his astral plane, that's when the internal thoughts came out. So I don't know if when Blitz was singing in that beautiful duet, like this wasn't like them getting ready for Full Moon with Brandon Rogers, like kind of like doing his like jokey kind of Blitz singing. He was actually singing and harmonizing in this. Like when you compare this duet with the first one, where Blitz was really kind of holding himself back, he was trying to force himself into a facade to put on to avoid and to distract himself and Stolas from having any kind of serious talks. He was still trying to put up this wall and not let anyone in. But here, his heart is fully exposed. He's not holding anything back in this moment. He is begging, he is pleading, he is pouring out his soul. And unlike before, it's actually coming out and harmonizing with Stolas's tune. And as their voices synchronize, they are consumed by this astral plane as they kind of are taken away from the reality of this moment. And we as the audience get an insight into how they're both feeling internally. You know, meanwhile, Stolas is still going on, rattling on his lies to take the blame off of Blitz and take the fall for all of that he's being accused of. But inside, we're getting to see the torture and torment between these two and the love shine through. But the sadness of that is they don't hear each other, but we hear them both as he's pleading for him to stop it. But Stolas keeps, you know, marching on, doing this for him because, like he says, I'd rather die than live in a world without you by my side. Oh my God, it's so heartbreaking. After his sentencing and he was kicked out, you know, Blitz, you know, despite everything, gave him a home, bathed him, clothed him, tucked him in at night. And just before he was about to say a little bit more, of course, Stolas, exhausted and depowered, passed out before he could express anything. But he gave him a little peck on the cheek, and it was just so powerful, so heartwarming, man. So good, this episode. Oh my God, too. I didn't even think about this until just now. This could be the fulfillment of that, maybe just accidental prophecy, looking back on it, to that conversation they had under the tree with Blitz and him as kids. He's talking about, I'm going to run a business. And he's like, hey, if you apply, maybe I'll even hire you. If he's not a Goetia anymore, what's he gonna do? Is he gonna hire him? Is Stolas gonna be working at Imp? Please tell me that happens. Also, let's kind of take a moment to appreciate seeing all of the sins sans Lucifer in one setting. Also, we got a nugget of lore that I don't think has been expressed anywhere in the shows themselves, and it's actually counter to the explanation that we got in Hazbin Hotel about the creation of hell. So Satan drops this lovely little lore nugget that he said he has ruled and existed in the dark long before the angels' fall. So long before Lucifer ever fell and was cast down into this space that he created, Satan was already here. Because there's been a lot of questions that I've had about the Hellborn and the nature of hell itself, like where did it come from? Because in Hazbin it says it was born out of that first evil. It allowed darkness to enter Earth, or the human realm. So maybe that realm always existed, and that act by Lucifer is what opened the door, and they were always there. But in his fall, you know, he superseded whatever order was already here to begin with, and maybe even incurred some level of or semblance of order to whatever was in this chaos, in this void. Because that raises a whole plethora of other questions that I've now got about that as well. So it's almost as if he's made this his own realm, and it also would show why it's not quite what is expected of it as well, especially when you kind of go down throughout the other layers or whatever. I know he united the sins as this circus troupe of sorts, and they ran their little thing for a while, until that all kind of deviated and fell apart and they went their separate ways. But like, it at least goes to show that they always existed, I think. I think that's what that tells us. Without Lucifer, the next in line is still Satan, but this Satan has always been there, has always been here, has always been in charge, but now he just reports to the golden angel that fell. You know, that's the implication if we're looking at the hierarchy, at least as I understand it. So that answers some questions and raises a lot of other ones. The fact that we just dropped that in the middle of that song was just fucking wild. And also Satan having a little bit of an anger problem is kind of funny, but also him trying to meditate and manage that anger, also hilarious. And the interactions between the other sins, you know, we didn't get a lot of a Leviathan in this other than Mammon trying to hit on them. You know, that was kind of funny. And then Belphegor just kept falling asleep. It's just nice seeing all of them in the same spot. And the whole design of this courtroom was fantastical. You know, we didn't get to see a lot of the Goetia, but we got to see some pretty interestingly designed ones. And speaking of Goetia, Visago seemed like the only one that was willing to speak up for Stolas. Like, he seemed like he genuinely cared and wanted to hear what he had to say. Like, it's nice to see that we had somebody counter to Androlphus, whose only goal right now is to catapult himself, while Visago's like actually fair and legitimately concerned about what all of this means and wants to hear all sides of it before anybody makes any kind of snap judgments. I thought that was really cool, really interesting. I hope we get to see more of him. And speaking of like somebody coming into Stolas's corner, or at least trying to, you know, Ozzy and B both stood up for Blitz in the gang. Not even just Stolas, but they stood up for Blitz. You know, there was a couple of people, Visago included, that was like, I kind of feel like we should probably hear them out, you know? And I love that in the desperation of this moment, the fear of the moment as this axe is about to come down on Blitz, that fucking Fizz is in a panic, texting Ozzy, asking, begging him to do something here. God, that kind of tore into my heart. And even like the expression when it panned to Verosika as she's seeing this on TV as well and fearing for Blitz, especially after the events of Apology Tour, with her kind of accepting Blitz's apology in her own way at the end of that episode. I just thought all of these things coming together and seeing all these people, again, the Blitz doesn't feel like he's impacted. And I think that's why he ended up hurting so many people. One, because he's too afraid to let anybody actually in up until recently. And also because he doesn't feel like anybody could ever genuinely care about him. So if they don't care about him, why should he care about them? But the fact is, he's just blinding himself to the fact that some people actually have cared. Like Verosika cared. Some of the other people he has dated have cared. He just didn't believe that it was possible. So he didn't believe that, you know, that was real. So he didn't treat it as if it was real, thus causing this cycle of pain that he didn't intend to inflict upon anybody. It's just fascinating. Man, though, I don't know where this leaves us going into the next episode, though. We got to somehow deal with Stolas and his class blindness. We got to figure out how we can out Andrelphus, Stella, and Stryker for what they've done here. Or simply because he survived this execution, maybe they're going to try to execute him themselves. I mean, they're also positioning Via against him, so they're going to gaslight the shit out of her. She saw that, you know, the lie that he put out there. So they can twist and manipulate that, position her against her father, and who knows how that's gonna go. Like, she's just become a pawn in this whole game because they only care about her until she becomes of age, and who's to say that they don't, like, do something to her? You know, all of his titles, property, legions, all that eventually pass on to her, and Andrelphus, you know, volunteered himself and Stella as basically her advisors, you know, really the ones whispering in her ears and pulling the strings, the real masterminds. And she's not going to know any different. She's not going to know the truth from the lies. You know, she already struggled with the divorce. This is, oh my God. How are we going to deal with all that in this episode? I mean, some of it's probably going to linger on into season 3, I would have to imagine. But they did say that season 2 ends one of the first major story arcs, whatever that means. I'm probably forgetting to talk about a bunch of things. There was a lot to process in this episode, so forgive me if I don't get to every little thing. So if I did forget something, mention it down below. And also let me know your thoughts on anything we did talk about, because I am going to need to let this sit and simmer for a little while. But guys, that's all I got for now. Going to pass it off to you. Sound off the comments. Let me know your thoughts down below. We'll carry the conversation after the video. Hope you enjoyed the reaction. If you did, leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe if you're not already. Remember, if you want to put your name in the hat for the giveaway, to check out the Instagram post after the video. And before we go, I want to shout out our channel legends: Manny Sherritt, Yor Korskov, Robert Anguiano, Jeffrey L, Jake Cottrell, Eric Official, Casey Wood, Russell Crockett, and Watchtower. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. But that's it for this video, guys, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care, everybody.